One of these movies was shot 85 years ago and it still looks way better than a blockbuster from 2024. How did we go from this to this? Why does The Wizard of Oz, a film that was shot back in 1939, still look way more cinematic than a 2024 blockbuster? Honestly, this isn't just about nostalgia here. Something is deeply wrong with modern cinematography, and today we're going to discuss this. And if you're a filmmaker, stick around till the end of the video because our giveaway for DaVinci Resolve Studio is still happening, and I'm going to give you guys some more details about it at the end, so stick around, okay? Now, there's been this huge debate about modern cinematography lately, from the Wicked controversy all the way to the way Netflix originals, they all look the same, and audiences are noticing. The question that we ask ourselves, more like plural questions, is what has changed? And did filmmakers forget how to shoot movies altogether? Or is it more technical, like digital camera, CGI? Or is there a bigger problem at play? Today, we're going to be breaking down why modern movies look worse. More importantly, how we can make them cinematic again. To answer the question, let's first rewind back to 1998 when The Parent Trap was released. The one with Lindsay Lohan.
You open the case and I go, hello, I am Lindsay Lohan.
Just look at it. Like the deep shadows, the bold colors, the dynamic lighting. It just looks like a painting. Compare that to all the modern day, today's blockbusters. What happened?
I don't know.
Do you guys remember when movies actually felt magical? When like every frame told a story? So why do so many films today look, well, lifeless? It just was popping in my head recently about that. And I want you guys to think of your all-time favorite movie, mine being Star Wars. Which movie from your childhood would still look incredible today? Name it in the comments. I want to know. I just feel like today we get this gray sludge, or what I like to call the gray sludge look. Here's what's really happening behind the hood. First off, let's think about the high dynamic range, or HDR overload. Back in the early days of digital cameras, they had low dynamic range, shadows were always crushed, highlights were always blown out, and so many actually hated that video look. So what did camera companies do? Well, they stepped up, they fixed it. And today, all the cameras are very small, right? They don't look like the big 90-pound rigs that you had to carry around, right? They're very, very tiny. And they see everything, like everything. The highlights, the details, the shadows, the midtones, they're all perfectly preserved. And in essence, it actually sounds great, right? Wrong. Movies used to have contrast. The shadows were always black, highlights always popped, and the frames always felt painterly. Now, everything is exposed perfectly, and that just makes things look flat and lifeless. But it all comes down to a lack of intentional lighting. Modern day movies, I just feel, are very clinical, or they're way too clean, almost like commercials. Everything is just shot safe so that the editors can tweak it later. But when you don't shape light on set, you get this boring image. And old school cinematographers, they committed to a look. Think of Steven Spielberg. He clipped the windows on purpose. Or Tarantino, who crushes shadows. Or Ridley Scott, who actually used deep contrast. Today, everything's shot in log, and they say, we'll just fix it in post. But guess what? You can't fix lifeless lighting. Sorry. Look, we could try to cut corners on budgeting by using multicam shooting. And, we can also use way too much VFX, or the VFX problem. But like a lot of modern day movies, they don't light scenes for drama because they can't. They're shot multicam style to capture everything at once, meaning DPs don't shape light like they used to. And if VFX is involved, well, you can forget it, because lighting has to be neutral, so it's easier to replace backgrounds in post-production. But movies aren't supposed to be real life, right? I mean, They're meant to be stylized. That's what makes them cinematic. And before you guys actually yell at me in the comments, yes, some modern day movies, to me, they look amazing. Let's think of Dune that was shot back in 2021 with Greg Fraser. Now, he made this movie look epic, okay? He made some bold choices and he set a new tone for our day and age of creating this hybrid style shooting, which is a mix between digital and analog. And what I really mean by that is that the movie was shot on the RELX, a digital camera, and went through this rigorous, expensive process of converting it into a film negative, then scanned back into a digital process, which I feel was an amazing choice on his part because it turned out really beautiful and something that you rarely see in today's world. Now, there's a lot of other movies like The Batman that was shot back in 2022. It's known for all the pure textures and the contrast, or even the movie The Creator that was shot back in 2023. You know, that was shot with prosumer gear, but it still looked gorgeous. So, what is the common thread? Well, strong use of contrast, bold color choices, commitment to the look before post. So, how do we actually go about making movies look like movies again? If you're a filmmaker, here's what we need to do, and I'm saying we because I'm one of them. We need to stop exposing for everything. We need to start using color and production design with intent. So, we need to think that contrast is king because it is, and stop relying on digital fixes. Here is the biggest issue that we run into, okay? Cinematographers are being cut out of post production. I recently actually watched a YouTube video where a DP or a cinematographer that had 30 years of industry experience chimed in on the comments, and he said that he spent hours crafting a look on set only for post to throw on an Instagram filter and ruin it. I mean, he wrote out a whole spiel about it, and it hit me to the core. I was like, yeah, that is true. Because to be honest, he's definitely not alone on this. A lot of DPs, including myself, are thinking the same way. We spend months, like months, designing a look only for editors and colorists to undo our work. And the end result is, well, a movie ends up looking very generic, like Wicked. But anyway, have you guys ever watched a movie and thought, why does this look so bad? Well, tell me the worst looking movie that you've ever seen recently because, again, mine honestly is Wicked. It just feels like a hyped up version of Barbie. Movies, they don't have to look bad. Let's look at Zodiac that was shot back in 2007, one of the first mainstream digital movies. And it still actually looks better than 90% of today's films. Why? Well, because David Fincher treated digital like film. And let's not forget The Wizard of Oz, the classic. It was the gold standard for using color to drive emotion in film. And let's not forget Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, that made a big impact in digital coloring. And even still, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou looks way better than most modern day blockbusters. Look, we just need to start committing to a look. We need to stop relying on HDR and flat lighting and start using creative contrast to create art. We need to bring back the art. Let cinematographers also stay involved in the post production. I mean, end result, it should be the DP's choice when he's artistically creating a vision from the director's vision. I mean, he's trying to pick the mood with the lighting and the contrast, so we need to have those DPs in the post production realm so that that artistic vision is carried out in full. All I'm saying is this, we need to make movies look like movies again. Speaking of making movies looking cinematic, our DaVinci Resolve Studio giveaway is still live. And you guys can win DaVinci Resolve Studio with no catch. If you guys have taken part in one of my giveaways before, then you guys will already know that I don't ask for subscribers. I don't ask for likes. I don't require any of that. Why? Because I just want to equip you guys with the tools you guys need to succeed in this industry. Now, I did extend the entries. The entries will remain open until February 20th. So you guys have plenty of time to click that link in the description box to enter. Honestly, guys, I don't require anything, okay? Just click that link, put your information in, and enter. We will announce the winner coming up February 21st. I think it's 21st. Is that the Friday? I think it is. Now let's get out there and let's practice and create.